Hello and welcome to National Focus. I am Julian Morris. In the headlines, Thea LaFond-Gadson breaks national triple jump record with the world-leading 15.25 meters gold in Croatia. Dominica urges OAS to elevate climate resilience as key pillar of security and democracy. And Community High School celebrates graduates at annual ceremony. The details of the headline stories and more when we return.
October is just around the corner. Time is running out. Get confirmed today.
Welcome back. Olympic gold medalist Thea LaFond-Gadson has smashed the national triple jump record and in the process recorded a top 10 jump in the history of women's triple jump. On her way to winning gold at the WACT Golden Meeting in Croatia on Friday, Thea jumped a world-leading 15.25 meters on her final attempt, smashing the national record of 15.02 meters she set back at the 2024 Summer Olympics.
Here she goes with her second attempt. That's big. Thea LaFond jumps her way miles into this pit. 15.01. Wow. Lifetime best. World leading mark. She's done it. She's technically very reliable. She's always good in a championship environment, and that's what you need. And this woman, Thea LaFond, today has produced the performance of her life, over 15 meters for the first time ever, just when it mattered.
15.25 meters not only represents the best jump by a female athlete in 2026, but it is the 9th best jump in the history of women's triple jump. Congratulations. Dominica has called on the Organization of American States to place greater emphasis on climate resilience as a core element of democracy, security, and sustainable development. Addressing the 56th regular session of the OAS General Assembly in Panama, Dominica's ambassador to the OAS, Steve Farrell, said the realities facing small island developing states require a broader understanding of hemispheric security. Speaking under the Assembly's theme of strengthening multilateralism in defense of democracy and security, Ambassador Farrell said the concerns of the Caribbean nations extend beyond crime and conflict to include the growing impacts of climate change and natural disasters.
For Dominica, like our sister island states of the Caribbean, including Haiti, once you float words like multilateralism, democracy, and security, they echo in our hearts and our people in reality, especially as we are now in the hurricane season. They speak to our lived experiences, and what we actually hear is hurricanes, floods, earthquake, and increased death. We know of crime and conflict, but security to us also resonate climate and economic resilience, food security, better housing, and safer communities.
Ambassador Farrell told the delegates that for small island states, resilience is fundamental to democratic stability, arguing that climate change must be recognized as a major security threat across the hemisphere.
Mr. President, in our own small state experience, democracy itself is not a standalone concept. It is strengthened at its core through resilience. To us, this is a lived stability, as climate shocks with its recovery burdens has the potential to substantially destabilize governance. Additionally, hemispheric security must itself include climate security, It will remain incomplete if small states if it does not see climate change as a threat multiplier. Security, in its contemporary definition, must therefore address priorities like disaster preparedness and response coordination, climate risk insurance, and supply chain stability. As the Honorable Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica has said to the world, that Dominica, like many Caribbean states, stands at the front line of climate change. This statement, I must submit, Mr. President, must now be modified to include that we are also standing at the front line of hemispheric security.
The ambassador also outlined Dominica's vision for a more responsive Organization of American States, one that gives greater support to vulnerable nations while promoting resilience and sustainable development.
Within an OAS that amplifies and champions the voices of small states, that is responsive to our vulnerabilities, that supports resilience building as democratic strengthening, that mobilizes finance and partnership and advance the blue and green economy. Mr. President, we again present Dominica as a model driven by our own experiences, positioning ourselves as a partner ready to collaborate, innovate, and share lessons across the hemisphere. We remain committed to providing leadership and credibility in our climate resilience agenda, our move towards geothermal energy independence, our investment in climate resilient housing, agriculture transformation, food security, and the building of community resilience.
In closing, Ambassador Farrell urged member states to build a stronger and more inclusive OAS, stressing that multilateralism must be measured by its ability to protect vulnerable populations and ensure that no country, regardless of its size, is left behind. The achievements of this year's graduating class were celebrated as Community High School honored students for their hard work, perseverance, and academic success during its graduation ceremony today. The ceremony was held under the theme, "Each choice affects your future, own each moment and plan with purpose." Minister of State in the Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development, with specific responsibility for youth and sports, Honorable Oscar George, represented the Minister for Education, Honorable Octavia Alfred.
This film contains a truth that has the power to shape your entire life. Graduates, bear in mind that your future will be determined by the hundreds and even thousands of decisions and choices that you make every single day. The choice to wake up early and get a head start, or to stay in bed and cozy up. The choice to prepare or to procrastinate. The choice to surround yourselves with positive influences or negative ones. Many people spend years waiting for the perfect opportunity. They believe success arrives suddenly, but success belongs to those who prepare. Every day is an opportunity to move one step closer to your goals, but it's up to you to make wise choices.
Delivering remarks on behalf of the Minister for Education, Honorable George told graduates that the ordinary decisions they make each day accumulate over time and ultimately shape the story of their lives.
That is why, as your theme suggests, you should own each moment along your life's journey. To all of you graduates, who I'm sure have worked very hard over the last few years, it's your time to celebrate your accomplishments. However, following your celebrations, do not allow distractions to steal your potential. Remember that intelligence alone is not sufficient. What will separate you from the others is resilience, not intelligence. That is the ability to keep moving forward when circumstances become difficult. The ability to be innovative, turn challenges into opportunities, and the ability to positively impact the life of others.
As is customary, the ceremony also included the presentation of awards recognizing students for excellence in academics, leadership, and other areas of achievement. We'll bring you details on the award recipients in our next newscast. As the Cicero parrot is the national bird and buckwibe the national flower, a call is now being made for the maize coral to be a national marine symbol of the nature island of Dominica. This is the wish of Simon Walsh, Director of Coral Conservation with Ocean Forward based in Soufriere. He conveyed this yesterday at the Soufriere-Scottshead Marine Reserve Day.
The corals you're looking at here, these are the maize corals. These used to be the most dominant coral in Dominica. And actually, pretty much this coral was fairly unique to Dominica in how much we had. We used to have a lot of it. But because of disease, we've lost a lot of this coral. So a big purpose of this project for me is trying to preserve this species in particular. We're going to be putting some letters towards the government, trying to make this the national coral of Dominica. Because we have more than any other island. Nobody in the world has ever declared that they have a national coral. They have national flowers and, you know, the national different things representing your country, national dish, national flowers. No one that we know of has ever done a national coral, so we think with a nature island it would be a really great thing to do, to declare the maize coral as a national coral.
He says coral reefs are very important in national development, especially the tourism industry. Corals, he adds, play multiple roles.
When you lose your corals, you lose the biodiversity of your reef system, and everything starts to collapse, and then you will not have redfish. And I'm using redfish as a very generic term, right? There's snappers and all kinds of different redfish, but most of your redfish are living on coral reefs. So that's number one, is habitat and food security for us as a nation. So you remember after Hurricane Maria, we had to do a lot of eating of tuna in a can, or spam, or sausages, whatever we had to eat. Fish is really your food security. So if you lose your reefs, you lose your food security. You have to rely more on external sources of food. Also tourism. People come to Dominica because our reefs are some of the best in the region. So scuba diving, snorkeling, all of these activities that happen here would not happen without coral. So for your tourism, the economy of the tourism industry is really important. And lastly, they also protect your coastal areas. So they protect your beaches and you protect your shallow area by absorbing the impact of the waves.
He highlighted the two issues affecting corals.
So we have two things affecting corals, global and regional or national. So global would be climate change and this disease. Local would be anything that causes sedimentation. So any coastal development projects, any rivers, all of those cause heavy sedimentation, and that sedimentation will suffocate and kill your coral. So we have to be very careful that the coastal development projects are recognizing the fact that there might be corals in the area. You can do a survey before the project starts, and then you come and you relocate the corals and put them somewhere else. So you're making sure you're not actually losing.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return. Welcome back. As family, friends and caregivers gathered to celebrate the remarkable life of centenarian Lucille Pascal this week, Minister for Senior Security, Honorable Dr. Cassandra Williams, highlighted the importance of the love and support surrounding Mrs. Pascal, describing it as a reflection of the care and kindness she has shared throughout her life. Mrs. Pascal celebrated her 100th birthday earlier this week.
Let me pause also to recognize and thank the family members, the caregivers, friends, and loved ones who continue to surround Mrs. Pascal with care and affection. The love we witness here today is a reflection of the love she has given throughout her life. It is a beautiful reminder that when we invest in people, those investments return to us many times over.
During the Mass honoring Mrs. Pascal, Parliamentary Representative Honourable Greta Roberts reflected on a life defined by strong values, deep family ties and enduring compassion. She described the centenarian as a symbol of greatness and respect, praising her lifelong contribution to love, support and strength within the community and for those closest to her.
Greatness is measured by the strength of character, from deep-rooted family ties, from values that we can pass on to others, and by a life well lived, one of compassion and love for others. Mumford, let me let you know, you're a symbol of greatness and respect. A truly successful person. A person who has lived well, laughs often, loved much, and gained the respect of others, and given the best that you had. I want you to know that I love you dearly. You have been a strong pillar of support for me.
Restore Caribbean Lives, in collaboration with the Goodwill Deliverance Baptist Church, has donated new washers and dryers to the Community Hostels Inc., formerly known as Grotto Home for the Homeless. The donation was made at a small ceremony held on Thursday. Restore Caribbean Lives has been a long-term partner with the Grotto Home for the Homeless, donating food and clothing to the residents over the years.
We had the privilege of being able to build 7 houses for some needy people in Dominica. You look around, we've done a lot of work with the admin building that's here. Some stuff in the back I'm going to let Greg talk about a little bit because his team has been working really hard on the back side of what's going on here. But we're really just privileged and thankful to be able to be part of what God's calling us to do in Dominica. And Pastor Dave has been such a great saint for us to work with. I don't know what else to call him over the past 24 years. He's just opened up his wallet, he's opened up his car, he's opened up his home, he's opened up his church, everything that God's given him for us to be able to partner with him to do such great things here in the state or the country of Dominica.
Minister of State in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Social Services with responsibility for seniors' security, children at risk, gender affairs and the differently abled, Honourable Dr. Cassandra Williams, thanked those who played a part in this donation.
You have been through a very difficult period, but you have toughed it out. You have stayed the course. And look what has happened. God has answered your prayers. And I just want to congratulate you for, what you do here at Community Hostels, Inc. I want to thank my dear pastor friend, Pastor Sarah, and thank you to Caribbean Restore Lives. Thank you for what you've been doing. Thank you for this gift of love. And I know, as the word says, the Lord will not forget your gift of love. So keep doing what you're doing. We're looking forward to the future. We're looking forward to the investment that you'll continue to make in Dominican lives. Together, we can make a difference.
Member of the Board of Directors for Community Hostels Inc., Mr. Daniel James, says this donation is one in a long list from Restore Caribbean Lives.
It's more than tangible donations. It's a relationship that we have enjoyed, and so far things are just happening, and we say thank you. The kitchen, we have done the kitchen last year, and this year they have done some more things to the kitchen. In total, I believe we are in excess of $600 total from last year to this year. $600,000. $600,000. Yeah, $600,000. We the solar system, the wash and dryer, the laundry shed, the retrofitting of the kitchen, the chicken coop, so that we understand that we are a donor-driven organization, and we have to find ways to help ourselves, because people will help us when we find ways to help ourselves.
Restore Caribbean Lives RCL is a non-profit dedicated to building homes, shelters and providing food and clothing to the underprivileged in the Caribbean. And now your weather update. A weakening high-pressure system will remain dominant across the area today, resulting in occasional cloudiness with brief showers. The passage of a low-level trough overnight is expected to support a slight increase in cloudiness and scattered late-night showers. Saharan dust concentrations are expected to decrease over the next 24 hours, resulting in good to fair air quality at times. Individuals who are unusually sensitive to dust should continue to take the necessary precautions. Sea conditions are expected to be slight to moderate during the next 24 hours. Waves are forecast to reach up to 3 feet along the western coast and up to 7 feet along the eastern coast. A tropical wave in the central tropical Atlantic is expected to approach the area on Saturday. We will continue to monitor its progress and provide updates. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. You can also drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. From all of us here on the GIS News Production Team, I'm Julian Morris. Thanks for watching.